Daffy Duck's Quackbusters was released in 1988. This is directed by Greg Ford and Terry Lennon, and is written by John W. Dunn, Mike Maltese, and Ted Pierce, with a voice cast including, of course, Mel Blanc. And this is a compilation film. We have obviously some new animation to bridge between the various clips, but for the most part, it's a series of existing Warner Brothers clips. And I have to say the clip selection is very good, and I'll talk more about those in a moment. But I won't say which clips are in it, because I think one of the most exciting things about watching Warner Brothers compilations is the question of what clips are going to appear. If you've seen all of the cartoons before, then there's this element of guessing what's going to appear, trying to work out which ones would fit best within the overarching narrative. So I won't spoil it, but if you do want to know, there is a list on Wikipedia. I don't know if it's comprehensive. I assume it is. It feels like it is. But I'll talk more about those in a roundabout way in a moment. But the narrative focuses on the fact that Daffy has come into some money, but he has to use this for the greater good. And he decides to set up this paranormal business. And as a concept, I don't mind it, but I did think that it was quite slow. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with that in between the main clips. I think we could have got a little bit more out of that as an overarching narrative. But that being said, the clips themselves are very good, and I have absolutely no complaints. They're very Daffy heavy, and I say that because there are some, for example, there are a lot of Bugs Bunny compilation films, but a lot of the clips don't necessarily feature bugs. And I'm not that bothered about that, but if you are in the mood for Daffy Duck, then you will get a lot of Daffy Duck in this. He is in pretty much, I think, every clip. I could be wrong, but certainly an awful lot of them. There's not a great number of clips. There are a good handful, but they're quite long. We get, I'd say, the bulk of most of them. And the film itself is about an hour and 20, an hour and 30 minutes. And we have a decent number of clips, but not too many. So if you don't like being pulled around, if you don't like jumping from one clip to the next really quickly, that might be more satisfying. But if you're looking for a compilation where we just have snapshots from a high number of clips, this isn't going to be the one to go with. But I can't fault the clip selection. I think everything is edited together really well. The overarching narrative is, as I said, very good, but I think we could have got a little bit more out of that. I think it could have been a little bit more interesting. But in general, I'd say Daffy Duck's Quackbusters is a fun way to explore a good number of existing, primarily Daffy Duck cartoons, with a decent story to tie them all together. So if you've already seen the cartoons and you want a fun way to enjoy what would be for you a random selection, I think they're quite well selected for this, but of course they're random in the sense that you don't know what you're getting until you watch it. Of course, you can look on Wikipedia if you want to know in advance. Then this could be a good way to get that element of surprise and not know which cartoon you're going to be watching next. It's a fun way to explore a nice variety of clips, and again, mostly with Daffy Duck at the forefront. The editing is good, and the animation, of course, is decent, and the voice acting across the board is great. Of course, we have Mel Blanc for the most part, but we also have various other voice actors for various other characters that feature, and ultimately, I don't have any complaints. I think it's a nice package of cartoons, edited together well, with a decent enough overarching narrative, and of course a great cast of characters. We don't just have Daffy Duck, we have a lot of other Warner Brothers characters in there too, so I'm quite happy. I thought it was a fun experience, and whether you're in the mood specifically for something very Daffy Duck heavy, or you're just looking to explore a variety of Warner Brothers cartoons, then Daffy Duck's Quackbusters might be one that's worth checking out.